No.
But do you have some lipstick for sale?
Mm-mm.
No. No lipsticks for sale. Man, how many people were trying to break into the store while we were in there fixing stuff up?
Gretchen just called me when we were down there. That's why I was taking a little while.
What was okay? Well, we're live already. We're gonna take this audio, put it on the podcast. Later, when it's cracking, we'll hop on TikTok.
Look at this cute cup Mickey made me. Where's the? How do I show the front? Is it this way? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at how cute that is. How do I do that? How do they do that?
What are you trying to do? A
When
reveal?
no,
Like a glare?
Yeah. I thought it was super cute.
She did a good job.
She did a good job,
man. She's like a serial entrepreneur, huh? It's like, but I asked her too. I was like, so these cups you're making, Sonny, come close the door. I was like, so these cups is it a business? Like, what's going on? Also, we have these caffeine gums, but you're already on caffeine.
Are those the caffeine gums you were talking
It
about?
also has, yeah, thank you. Look at that little assistant. We got production assistants around
She
here.
said, I talked to Just here because she heard our last episode. And she texted me and she said, hey, are those the gums? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I'm not sure. But she didn't like them. And you said they weren't bad.
I don't know what she didn't like about them. The flavor or something?
Yeah, I think it was the flavor.
We're not chewing on these for flavor. It has like L-theanine.
Does it
and
work? Did it work for you the last
so it's
time?
like a little bit Chinese food.
Why are you telling everybody our business?
Why you telling everybody what we had? Well, I mean, I cleaned up a lot when I was chewing it. I just don't know if I feel like having more caffeine at the moment.
I didn't have that much caffeine because I didn't finish my coffee this morning.
Oh, I did.
Because I left.
Mm-hmm.
My husband forgets that I drop off children, so he always puts my cup in the relaxing cup versus the to-go cup.
All right, we got to have our to-go cups ready to go. Junior R. Ray, thank you for tuning in. I think everybody's busy right now. We might have to get on TikTok. All the people that got time, they're all on TikTok. This is all the hardworking people. So this is Facebook and YouTube.
Okay, well, this is technically a podcast, so we can just
okay, cool.
Just
all right, well, I bet. You know. Well, we'll trim that intro and we'll set it off.
All right. So the other day, I don't know why, but someone I guess was curious, and they sent me this question, and I wanted to. It was via DM.
You got some questions? Send your questions. Don't DM my wife, but yes, send questions.
Okay, let me tell you what they asked, and I want you to tell me first what you think, and then I'll give my answer. It said, Marisol, what's it like managing Chingo's career? Like, how do you handle the behind-the-scenes aspects of his comedy and music career? That's why I wanted him to go first.
Oh, man.
I wanted him to answer first. Because I wanted to hear.
If anybody is a manager out there right now, and you listening, and you want to join a upperly mobile, fast-paced industry, the exciting world of entertainment, it's not my wife's fault that we have a lot of projects, and I'll tell you what is on our plate though.
This person asked,
how is it
managing? And I'm asking you, how is it managing you? Like, how do you feel like
with you managing me?
With me managing you.
Well, we're a team, so sometimes I got to pitch in and back you up on projects and different things and opportunities that you have going on. So really, I'm your manager.
This boy be lying to y'all. This boy be lying to y'all.
Yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes is exactly what the other question was.
Okay, ready? Back to the behind the scenes. Well, I distinctly remember in the beginning when the opportunity of me doing stand-up comedy started, and we were just kind of boyfriend girlfriend, and I didn't know what all talents and skills she had going on. I was just like, she seemed like she kind of good at paperwork. I'm like, I know she got that corporate America. I'm like, she got a good hustle because she's teaching 15 Zumba classes.
Self-employed.
Yeah, self-employed. I'm like, she got her own
agency.
So I remember one time when I cold called a comedy club I had heard about, because I was literally just now tapping into comedy clubs, and I cold called the guy. Now looking back, it's like, that's not how you're supposed to go about this at all. Like, there's a system.
I was actually cooking, y'all, because I was in the middle of a bodybuilding competition, and I was making my food, and like he was at my apartment, and from like the back, I hear him calling.
You're like, this isn't very corporate.
And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, and the way the person replied, to be honest with you, I was like, maybe I need to help him out here. So again, he's right. We're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're kind of at that stage where you don't want to like step on toes. You're comfortable, but not 100% comfortable. You don't really know each other's like finances, where you're at in life. So then I just said, hey. This
was that scene in the rom-com where it's like, I'm real hood, I'm hood, but I got potential. And like my cousins want to go do a drive-by and get revenge because they shot one of our homies, and but I'm a good dude. So it was like the love interest in the film stepping in and saying, hey, what about that ball scholarship? I thought we was gonna, you know what I mean? I thought you were gonna go to college. Yeah, like we can leave South Central right now. and next you see me loading up my basketball, or like in my case it'd be my gi. You know what I'm saying?
That's a whole movie about it.
I ain't been in how long I haven't been in a while.
Yes, it was kind of interesting. So I just kind of didn't even know how to really approach it. I just remember just saying like, hey, if you want, I can help you like write the emails to people so that you're not just calling them like that. And you're like, nah.
You don't know about this.
You don't know about this. And I was like, okay.
I was like, Marisol, this is more than just really good email skills. I was like, you think I made it in the game this long being a square?
But here's what I want to tell you guys.
You think it's because of emails, Marisol?
So I don't know how he kind of let me write this email. I don't know what made you finally decide, like, all right, go ahead and try. No, I think it was almost one of those, you guys like this. I guess, like,
I was like,
you can try.
What I got to lose?
I guess you can try. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Next thing you know.
Then, y'all, years later, I hear him telling someone a story. I think it was on a podcast where he was like, that girl don't know nothing about entertainment. I didn't want to have to start over and be explaining shit to her. And I was like, this is what you thought the whole time? I was like, what a little
I was like, baby, this show business.
And he's right. I don't come from the entertainment world, but I was like, well, damn. But I figured it out.
No, but I know talent. I know talent.
I figured it out for you.
I know potential when I see potential.
You're still not helping that. You're still not
no, but
very nice.
But no, like obviously it was one of those things where it's like, oh damn, oh wow, you really do have the skills and you really did do the research and like found the sweet spot, like and some really good like people skills. It's a very delicate thing, and we hear all the time from the comedy clubs. We hear all the time where they say, man, I'm not gonna lie, Marisol, if he was with an agent or something, like it wouldn't be as smooth as the relationship we have, and the relationship would be so different. And thankfully he's not with some big old agency. And sometimes these agents will be like, man, I can give you 10% more, and I'm like, bet, but what are you gonna need? I'm gonna need 10%. Bet. So I'm in my same position with no relationship. And we keep it in-house, baby. You know what I'm talking about? We like, it gets greater later.
But yeah, so I guess from my perspective to answer this question, what's it like? It's not easy whatsoever.
Well, you killed it, is what I'm saying. Like superstar.
I'm gonna shout out to Google. Because Google was the one that helped me understand
Google University.
No, literally, I went to listen. Y'all, I really think it was God though, because real true story. I think I've said this before on my podcast, or I don't know which one of our mini podcasts that we start and then we kind of don't finish. The crazy thing, this is the only podcast that we kind of stay consistent on. Isn't that the crazy thing? But anyway, So after sending so many emails out, I finally get somebody that replies, and they asked, what type of deal are you trying to work? And I said, hey, well, you're from the entertainment world.
I'm like,
surely you know.
And I'm there, you know what I'm saying, dribbling my ball. I smell like hella Black and Miles and Swiss of Sweets. All you smell Swiss of Sweets and Bond number 9. And then I say, deals. Well, you know, the way we normally used to do it is you get that up front and then you get that back end. So I'm gonna need my deposit.
And I was like,
I don't think it works like that.
So I was like, you don't know? How do you not know?
I'm like, I'm from the rap game.
He's like, this is the rap game. This is different. And I was like, oh my God. What?
I'm like, we did with promoters.
Listen, y'all.
We did with promoters over here.
A reply back after sending so many
I need my back end.
Mind you, we were still social media. Crazy thing though, because it doesn't seem like 10 years ago was that long ago, right? Mm-hmm. But social media was still kind of new because they weren't just going based off of your social media like numbers or views or how many followers. Mm-hmm. They were still asking for clips. Remember, submit your video.
Well, that one dude that I had cold called, I think he was
asked,
the one.
And there was a few of them that asked, like, do you have a clip that we can see? Blah blah blah. So we didn't know about that. Just being honest, we didn't. And so he didn't know anything about it. So I was just like, oh my God. So then I kid y'all not. We finally get a call back. Somebody finally decides to say, yeah, we'll take y'all. What kind of deal? He doesn't know what kind of deal. So I'm like, surely somebody on the internet has to have written about this. I Google, what was it?
Like deals, like contracts deals.
I think I Googled
comedy show business.
Flat versus percentage. Mm-hmm. And so I Googled that and I put in for artist, right? And so someone had written a whole masterclass about it, and I was like, oh my God. So I figured it out. Literally, iPhone still didn't do screenshots. So I emailed it to myself, and so I was like, okay. So I literally was like typing the email, reading that, and I literally negotiated his first deal
off
Google's information.
But guess what? Now we have, 10 years together as a power couple. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. To where we can now present to you the power couple show business masterclass. Hit the link.
But no, and then that's the reason I say this was all God is because then I went back, right? Now at this point, some of our comedian friends were asking if I could manage them. And I was like, bro, I can barely manage my husband. So what I can do is send you some information.
I can give you the game.
On where I found this. I go to Google it again, and it's completely swiped. Like there's no evidence of this article anymore. It doesn't exist. It's not on Google anymore. I don't know what happened.
God was like,
that's why I say it was all
God. God was like, I already.
Like God said, here's the tools, little girl. You better take them and use them and do what you can.
And then God was doing me like this. He's like, you get on stage. And I was like, I don't want to do stand up. So you need to get on stage.
Well, it was.
And we've been crushing it ever since. Next year's exciting. Is right around the corner. We're ending this year strong. We've been experimenting with different types of shows and things. So we've been incorporating some music stuff. So Corpus Christi, Mesquite Street Live, right there, SPI Staples. November 16th, Pasadena, Friendsgiving, and then Chingo Bells, Arlington, Texas, December 27th through the 29th. Get your tickets now. Do not get sold out.
Bro, I can't believe that. This is our first time doing a show so late in the year. We usually cut it off first week of November. We usually end around this time whenever you go to Corpus, and then we don't add anything. We were offered and we said yes. So it'll be interesting because we've never done a show that late in the year. So we don't even know what it's like. People, I don't know if they're out of holiday mode and they're ready to go back to normal mode. Where people are going to come out or what?
I think people always want to laugh. People sometimes I would aim to be a trusted almost like a trusted voice, to where it's like, all right, not only do we know you're going to bring a great show and a great lineup and some cool surprises, which we definitely have some surprises for that one, but also be consistent in the way that, you know, I'm being honest and transparent. And if you feel like you just need to go and like reconnect, like, you know what I mean? Like if you have some stuff going on in your life, or the world is crazy, and you're like, okay, not only is this dude gonna give us our money's worth and be super funny and bring some hilarious people, but also I just the voice of the stuff that's not material, just a little stuff in between. It might be the little toast at the end, it might be something in the intro, or you said something to an audience member. But in other words, these days people really have to like rock with you for real, because in this economy, it's kind of, think about it, it's right after Christmas and right before New Year's, and you're all partied out with friends and family and events and your kids and all that. But if we could provide something where it's like, yeah, that's why I want to go, because like I'm over the fake, you know, you got your little fake relatives or whatever, or kids sugared up. They've been sugared up since Halloween. We still full from Thanksgiving, Christmas. Like, we need a break. We want to come pull up. So,
and it's end of my market season too.
What's your last market?
December the 6th through the 8th.
December 6th through the 8th. And where's that one at?
Beaumont.
Shout out to the Beaumont.
Beaumont. If you're in Beaumont and you're watching, come visit me at
the air horn threw you off.
I forgot. I've had so many.
Wait.
Helping my friend.
Oh, wait a minute. Markets. Damn it. You didn't read them comments? I was trying to read them comments. People saying your mic was low. This shit was down.
Andale. So I wonder how it's going to record.
I hope you were talking loud. Okay.
I mean, I do speak pretty loud, but
Corpus Christi Regional Transportation Authority is having their bus. Okay. I'm going to be performing Friday and Saturday, right?
What is that? Regional transportation. What does that mean?
What's a bus rodeo competition? What is that? What do you think a bus rodeo is? Like, they're gonna do stuff in buses, like race the buses,
and it's a rodeo.
Who could swing the like a car show for buses? Thank you for.
I don't know what that is.
R.E. Glenn Plumbing. Thank you for telling us about the audio, man. Sorry about that.
But yeah, so just to answer that person's question who DM'd me, and I thought you would have liked it too, just because it was, you know.
Yeah, it
was kind of a thing.
Obstacle course for buses.
What? That's kind of cool. That's good content.
Wow. You know what, Cecilia? What time on Sunday?
That's pretty good content.
What time on Sunday? I know we got to make it back. But yeah, that was a good question, and I'm serious about perhaps. I mean, think about it. If you and I scripted out, let's say we got with like Frank or one of our video people, if we like scripted out, all right, what would be 10 bullet point, 10 chapters of what you would give somebody like an up and coming comic? Think about how valuable this is. If you're an up and coming comedian out of like Fort Wayne, Indiana, and you're like, all right, I could spend $20 and get this like whole masterclass course where they get to the point, it's professional, it's well lit, it's edited.
Let me ask you something. What do you think is because I think anybody listening could probably benefit if they're even if they're trying to start a new business. This doesn't, even if you're not in the entertainment business, I guess.
Thing.
What do you think has kept it together for us as far as like being able to make it 10 years with the entertainment? Because this is a whole new I guess lane for you. I mean, I know you always did skits and stuff and you were always like doing stuff, but like, what do you think helped keep it together? Is it you following my lead? Is it me or is it us being able to sit down and discuss? Like, what do you think helps? Because there's a lot, but there's a lot of couples that start businesses. They were not the only ones. You know what I'm saying? A lot of couples start businesses and they do them together. And one of the things I know during the pandemic, I heard a lot of people, I forgot what I read, where I saw it on Instagram. If anybody saw it, maybe y'all, where how many divorces happened during the pandemic. just
You
because
stuck at home with
so
them.
many women are not used, both, not just women, men and women are not used to being at home that long together. So like it's almost like they got on each other's nerves for that. Excuse me. And before, well, this kind of question is a little bit different, but I used to always get asked, how do you work with your husband? How do you live with your husband and parent with your husband and not get on each other's nerves?
No, we get on each other's nerves.
We do.
We on each other's nerves right now. I'm just kidding.
No, we're having a great day today. We're not on each other's nerves today. For me, I'm going to say that sometimes, because I feel like I'm a perfectionist and the way my brain works is a very like, what is the word? What is that? Compartmentalize everything. Like everything has a section in my brain. Like, oh, that part, wait, we're not there yet, right? Versus my husband is way more scatterbrained. Like he's all over the place. So we can start here somewhere. Yes. Okay. We start here sometimes and then it comes here and then it comes here. And for me, it's like, no, we're not there yet. Like we need to do this first. And then we do that. And then it's like that. Now, has he gotten better? Yes. Because now he uses a planner. Now he writes things down. Now it's like, I got to do this. And partially it's probably because he's been listening to this other podcast too, where it's been explained to you about
time. The rap game, where you deal with promoters, you get your front end and you get your back end.
But a lot of it has to do, I would say, like having to have like some kind of system, like you always say, like, okay, today is admin day. Today is you go do content. I'm going to go do my own thing that I need to do, you know?
You know, the best thing about separating the work into chunks, like let's just say, pretend if you're going to do a creative session, it's hard to do your like music stuff 30 minute chunks. Like before I leave to go do this, I'm going to sit here and play the beat real quick and get inspired and jot notes and then come back later. You see what I'm saying? So the best thing for me about separating in my brain admin stuff and creative stuff is that way I don't get overwhelmed and stress myself out thinking, why am I here counting these beans, sorting the widgets when I'm supposed to be making songs or content?
No, 100%.
That's the best use of my time.
Yeah.
I need to already have 50 pieces of content. Like the album, what's the release date? Like we need a new single, cook it up, you know, like finish that feature, like go do the creative work. But because I know, well, right now we're doing admin work. Right now you're going to sit at the coffee shop with the planner, you're replying to you're opening mail or whatever that may be.
And trust me, y'all, sometimes I'm conscious of it. So I don't like for him to come help because I feel like he needs to use his creative part of his brain versus the
intern part of my brain, versus the little helper.
You know, so I'll say things like, nah, I'm going to go do it myself. You need to go do whatever you need to go do. Could I use the help? Absolutely. But you kind of have to like pick your battles. Like, listen, do you want to hear him tell you constantly how he could be making music right now, but instead he's having to open mail with you?
You think Pitbull's opening his own mail right now?
Or do you want him just to go do what he needs to go do and you deal with the mail? So I'm like, you know what? Why don't you go do what you need to go do? And I am going to go do what I need to go
Bash
do.
in the studio right now, smoking weed, pulling up a beat.
But it's definitely
I'm
a
over
team
here painting
effort.
a fence.
But I think that's with anybody. You open a business with another friend.
I mean, you're gonna have to paint
open
a fence.
a business with a business partner. There has to be communication, and somebody has to have one role, and somebody has to have the other role. You know what I'm saying? In this case, I'm actually a manager, so it works totally different. I have to manage everything. I will be.
And we have several businesses and projects.
Yeah, and if you are a Her Lounge podcast and you heard a lot of me saying, and I don't know if this still applies to anybody because the pandemic has been a gazillion years ago, but I feel like I derailed off of this like strict, I don't know what you want to call it, like this strict schedule, and it must be done. It couldn't go past that, and I always had deadlines, and it was like, why is it past this day and I'm still not finished, right? Versus before, there's no way. It was done and solid.
Or do you think like all the boutique stuff, like was that even in the picture?
We didn't have kids. We had Penny, but we didn't have Sunny yet. and I wasn't in the boutique either. So now I consume some of my time is having to go to the boutique because that's part of the contract. We don't hire people out, so we have to go work at the store, which is a great concept, guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very great concept.
For
The
many
day that I
reasons.
open one of these little shops, that's exactly how I'm going to run it. Very great concept that Gretchen and Dulce created there. But long story
Because you have
short,
skin in the game.
yes, and but yeah, so you now have to add 2 kids. They also have their own schedules. They have activities. You know, my husband has activities. I have to make sure that's scheduled into the schedule. So if you don't have a Google Calendar that you share with your family, you should, so that you know where you need to be at all times and what's coming up. And
TikTok tried to sell me on this like hallway calendar monitor thing. It's probably just China and the CCP trying to spy on Americans. It's probably or your own government, right? Trying to like you think using AI and stuff to see you. But anyway, the way TikTok was selling me was like, it's like it shows like the mom entering something, and then the kid comes, looks at the weather, and it's probably like it's just a big ass iPad, really. But it had like the calendar, so it's like your little virtual digital, where the whole family can come and see. Like,
well, that's kind of cool because
like today's Wednesday.
I even have to create a schedule with our nanny, because when she comes to help, she needs to be able to look, because now I'm like sending her dates. Like, hey, so I'm going out of town this day for my market. Chingo, we need help this day. Can
she's
you
like,
please come?
She's like, so I'm COO.
Yeah. So I'm like, can you come in this day at this time to help with the kids? Because he's got to take the other one to this event. So it's a whole system. Definitely. It has to run pretty tight and, smooth. I also didn't do markets back then either. So that was another thing. Like, markets was not a thing for me. This is my first year doing markets.
But you're in the middle of like a huge opportunity. Like, the situation and position you're in and what you have access to, like in terms of information and like already getting into these bigger markets and already like finding all your suppliers and all your distribution stuff, and learning the hard way and adjusting and reacting and fixing, and then learning a new thing and stacking it on with the other thing. Now boom, the other connect. Now you got this,
and even you're learning, because I'll sit there and run things by you, and I'll be like, my girlfriend Diane calls it School of Hard Knocks, because she's like, I just throw it, and if it sticks, then that means it worked. If it doesn't stick, I write it down. This didn't work out for me, so it's not the thing.
But you got to know how to adjust and know what you're measuring to know, like, okay, so is this project working or not? You know what I mean? And some of my ideas tend to be more like, for example, and I love that we got some people here. Like, for example, I would love for you, I said this on one of the last episodes, for you in a different backdrop, do a similar type of live stream where you're just kind of like showing like new cups just came in. These are for the girls. I'm thinking about oh, nice comment, pin it, sound effect, whatever. But just be you, because at the end of the day, it is your business and it is content, and that's one thing that like at the Hive, it's what 12 is it
12 female-owned businesses,
12 different individual businesses. So imagine if like one might be really popping on Facebook, one's really popping on TikTok, one's popping on MySpace, Snapchat, whatever. One has a podcast, one has a fire live stream. And now it's like, oh, Marisol, like 2 girls came in from Rice University. They say they follow you on Instagram. And it's like, oh, cool. Did they buy anything? No, but it's okay. At least you got 2 more people to come in, and maybe they bought a croissant next door.
I'm not going to lie to y'all guys. That's my goal for 2025. I can't, what is that? I can't commit just yet this year, but I already told you, I'm taking these last couple of months of the year, not to like finish off the year, but to prepare and come in strong for 2025. Because I don't want to start 2025 planning now what I'm going to do for the next 6 months, but rather taking these next November and December to say the first quarter of 2025, we're doing this. The next quarter, we're doing this, so that there's like
better, I feel like, outlook of what's working, what's not working, what needs to be adjusted for second quarter. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I want to go in for
Mhm.
2025. I'm not one to create like New Year's resolutions or whatever.
I mean, my revolution, my resolution has been the same one for the past I don't know how many years, which is just get more organized. Get more organized. Like I think it was something some item I was gonna throw away. I know what it was. I was organizing, right? And I found a few like Velcro patches, but one was like an iron-on patch. So I was like, dude, just get rid of the iron-on one. Like you're not about to iron that on to anything. I mean, you could put it on a jacket or something, but I was like, you have to be more ruthless with like, you know what I'm saying, with your system of what stays, what's got to go, because it starts taking up space.
One thing that I do want to do while I'm putting it out here, and I was thinking about doing that the day after Christmas, but I work at the store, so maybe not. Maybe sometime during that the last day of the year. But I wanted to have a like a come shop my storage units for all last minute things from the end of the year.
Yeah.
And
Chingo
like
Bling will be there as security.
Set up like an appointment, because you can do that through Square where they can click appointments. And I wanted to do like, okay, these are the days that I'm going to have come shop, and I want literally I want to have like a $10 sale, like nothing over $10. Like it'll be, I want to do like 1, 5, 10, like, you know what I'm saying, like dollar shit. Not that it's worth $1, but I just want to like, I want to start
when did you want to do this?
The last day of the year, like at the very end, because then I know what's left over from everything that I have left over. You see what I'm saying?
Like after Arlington?
Yeah, so after Arlington, I'd like to do that.
Well, how about this? We'll be going live weekly. Remind them every week up until that point, so that then you can just give them that schedule link.
Yes, it'll be on Square. So I don't really know how to do it. I don't know if like I can I know there's a way I can link my Big Cartel with that. I just haven't figured it out. I've been kind of planning it. That's why I've been kind of like play with it.
Yeah, that's how barbers do it.
So it's a link that you can use. I think you can use another app too to make appointments, right? So I don't want to use that, but since the Square's already,
yeah, I know barbers that use the Square one.
Yeah, so Square's already attached to my Big Cartel. I just kind of figured like I'll just do appointments there. And you can sign up and you come shop. Like, I don't know, you get like a 2-hour slot. Some people may not need 2 hours, but you know, like an hour slot.
One little warehouse.
I know. So that's what I'm saying. Well, I'm going to set it up like a store. So like, I want you to come shop. I'm going to have the racks ready, because it's going to be all of my inventory left from the year, like from all my markets.
Well, I guess I'm underestimating the time women need.
It's probably gonna have to be afternoon. I don't know how many morning ones, unless you're a stay-at-home mom, because you know everybody's at work.
And then have somebody have like a different entry fee or something, where it's like, all right, I'm here for the 15. When they go in, like
I legit like wanted to say like $50 boxes, and then it's like, fill your box
like it's a Chinese food.
Like, well, here's your box. You fill it up. It's $50. Period. Leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can you fill up with this? And that means like whatever little item. It can be earrings. It can be a bracelet. It can be sunglasses, a cup, because a lot fits in a box. You know what I'm saying? So like, here's your bag. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, here's your bag. Fill this up for $50 and you leave. You know what I'm saying?
There's different ways to do it, right?
Yeah, there's different ways to do it. I haven't figured out that part out yet, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, so I want to have an end of year sale. Literally everything that's left over from Christmas, from rodeo, from everything, and just put it on sale. Now I do have suede like jackets that probably can't be $10 because they're kind of my higher end rodeo items.
Because they're suede jackets.
Yeah, they're suede jackets. So those are not $10 value. So there will be some items that probably can't be on the $10 rack, but it'll be an option for anybody who still might want it. You know what I'm saying? So so further, I guess more info to come when I figure that out.
Cool.
But so yeah, hope that answered that person's question about like how we manage. I don't know that I explained it since I asked you, but
well, because I mean, it's basically, long story short, right? The summary version is like, it's exciting. There's a lot of variety that comes with it, but it's been working.
Because I said, how do you handle the behind the scenes aspects? It's not easy though. Like the behind the scenes is tough, you know. I think I always feel like if people knew, they'd be like, "Holy shit, all that?" Yeah, all that. And then there's a whole new part of Chingo, which is like the political world reaching out. So that's a whole other thing that I also had to. I'm teaching myself right now that I had no idea how to manage.
It's
You know
like
what I'm saying?
steps.
It's like steps to that. So that part I'm like learning. So you know, the behind the scenes is fun, but at the same time, I don't know that I could have another job. Does that make sense?
Would I go back?
Like
to
I don't know that no, because my job before this, I was an interpreter and I had a job placement agency, which was also very tough finding work for people who are deaf and hard of hearing. It wasn't that easy. It was a hard time. I mean, you saw kind of like you came in at the end of right before I closed it. So it's not easy because, you know, a lot of people are not open to hiring people with disabilities. So that was tough, but I don't know that I can. It's crazy because sometimes I look at people that go to work or when I'm out driving or I'm somewhere and I see people are on their lunch break, right? Or like somebody will come into the store and be like, "Oh, I'm on my lunch break," right? Like, I got to hurry back. I can't try this on. What time do y'all close? You know what I'm saying? I'll be back after work, you know? I think to myself, like, I wish I could go to work from like 8 to 5 and I know that it ends at 8 to 5. Like I start at 8 and I end at 5 and I get to go home and not worry about anything now except for my children, making sure they do homework, dinner. I mean, that's what I have to do now, but then they go to bed and then now it's time to work again. You and I will sit there and have another huddle or another meeting about tomorrow. What's the schedule?
Like,
okay.
I gotta do this email blast.
All right. Yeah, exactly. Hey, I got to go live as Theo Juve. All right. Well, there you go.
Speaking of this question, Sean says, did Theo Juve vote? Theo Juve did vote.
Hey, and, Sean. Oh, that's Sean.
Yes, sir. And Juve will tell you all about it in 2 days when he goes live Wednesday night. Wednesday night he will go live.
Dencha Manolo should do the
CNN?
The CNN live thing.
What do you mean?
Like just do the coverage of it, like the
play-by-play.
The play-by-play. That'd be so good. Y'all, if y'all didn't watch us before, we now just started doing we used to do this thing called what is it called? Dencha Manolo?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Anyway.
Yeah, that was interesting because we got to like improvise, huh?
And that is when you really knew I was the one.
Oh shit. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, hope that answered the question, and that's what it's like managing Chingo Bling.
Can you give me that drink real quick?
My drink?
Like that big old pink drink. Oh yeah. Yeah. You got another question on there?
Let's see. You guys have been doing about
Say what?
Hmm?
What did you say?
I said they've been doing good about asking random questions. I don't know if it's been from like us going this one little episode. Oh, I did. Shout out to Just Here who did text me and said, "Hey, I'm so happy y'all are back on Cafecito Time. I really needed that episode."
I had to grab her by the ear.
I know.
I had to grab her by the ear and say, "Hey, look, I know you over there researching something." We were at the boutique today.
He came to help me.
So I was the little intern helper.
Oh, wow, this is kind of interesting.
I want Soul to go live from over there.
I will. I just gotta
I was about to like put the phone in her face, but she's like, "No, not right now, not today."
This was just more like, do you have with holidays coming up? Do you have holiday traditions?
You know what tradition I want to do?
Oh, let me hear this.
And it's giving me a little bit of anxiety just because of some of the cleanup and work, how labor intensive. But if we just make a small batch of tamales like super small, like where it's manageable and you're not where this ain't for sale. Just to get like, okay, Sonny, you know how much she loves to be like,
she'd probably eat the entire
masa. She'd probably eat all the masa before it even gets made. But anyway, like she has her little bowl. Penny has her little bowl, and Mickey have their little bowl. That way, like even if it never ever happens again, because it's a disaster, right? But for them to be like, yeah, look, there's that picture with Dad, you know what I mean? And I kind of remember some of it, or think positive, like it's something that we actually can make a tradition and do every year. That way they could be like, oh, it's my favorite holiday. Like we're all gonna get our hands dirty together and eat what we made. And
we used to do that.
And learn.
That's actually how I told my family
kind of like
that I was pregnant. Was we were making tamales, and no one knew that I was pregnant yet. And I said, y'all, I forgot what I
gotta eat 2 dozen because I'm eating for 2.
I don't know what I said, and they were like, what? It caught everybody off guard because we were all like, our line, it was like assembly lines. We were spreading on there, and she was putting the carne, and I just, hey, y'all, guess what? They're like, what? I'm pregnant. It was like, what? I said, I'm pregnant. They're like, oh my God. And that's the last time we made tamales.
Oh my
6
God.
years ago.
Well, we got to do it. If you want, I'll be in charge of it.
Yeah.
And Chingo's trying to present it as like a family tradition, something to realign con la cultura. To pass on to the next generation. But you know what it really is? It's like, wait a minute, Chingo trying to start another business.
No.
These my workers.
No, I think that is cool. I like that. I like that because I used to do that as a little girl, like with we did up, but like I said, up until 6 years ago, I think it's the last time we did it.
Have Cynthia come over.
Yeah.
She you know what I mean?
Everybody, my mom, she's going to have to help us.
She's probably going to take it too serious and be like, los estás haciendo muy mal, Penelope.
No, but she can at least like help with the masa. Yeah,
at least just get a kick out of seeing her grandkids.
Yeah, she can help us make it. Well, it's funny you say that
plan.
Because we were kind of talking about this at my cousin.
Y'all will be there. We'll live stream it.
My little cousin just had a baby. Shout out to my cousin Jasmine.
Shout out to Jasmine.
She just had little baby Lola, and she's adorable. And she is only 4 days old. And she's 4 days old. Wow. It's just I went to go see her yesterday. It was really cool. I was just really happy for her. And anyway, we were kind of talking about that because now, as you see, that's my aunt's 2 kids. Their little families are growing, right? So then pretty soon it's going to be like, well, I want to have my kids and my grandkids over with their family, right? But we usually go to her house for Christmas. Christmas is always at her house. So she was asking me, which is what a great segue with that question. She's like, what do you plan on doing? I was like, and I'm sure everybody who's Hispanic probably can relate to this, but it's always tough when you have 2 families, 2 big families, your family and mine, and figuring out where you're going to go, because now it's get your kids, let's go. And okay, what are we taking? Okay, they might want to do this.
Let me take shoes. Those are not the right socks, Pete. Those are not the right socks. In her drawer. You gotta move stuff around, Pete. You gotta move stuff around. Why would I tell you frill? Why would frill? She's wearing a lace bonnet. That's plaid. Plaid is vertical 90 degrees. Frill.
I know. But long story short,
it's a pain.
It's a lot of work. It's like getting everybody out of the house, and then it's what are we having to take, and then
how long are we going to be there?
How long are we going to be there? Because we probably need to be back by this time, because now it's time to go to house number 2 or our house. Because my little family, as far as like my immediate family, it's small. My dad is passed. It's just my sister and my mom. His family is way bigger. So for him, it's his sisters, his nieces and nephews, their husbands and wives and brother-in-laws and all of the above. On my side, it's only my sister, my mom, and us, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So, who is Marco Garcia? Did you know Jasmine?
Marco Garcia. Do you know Jasmine?
Or is he just saying that?
R.I.P. Peanut.
Who is Peanut?
The squirrel that they killed in New York.
Oh my god. I don't understand the joke.
No, it's
I miss Chris USA.
yeah.
That's my
only in 2024 America is a squirrel now controversial. Like he's like the right wing George Floyd, where basically his death is like getting people really riled up.
A squirrel, bro? Are you joking? Are you serious?
This is what happened. And I'll give y'all the quick version that from my understanding. But again, don't get triggered. Oh my God, you're fucking political vendido because this fucking squirrel. Anyway, so there was a couple who adopted an orphan squirrel because the mom got hit by a car, but they had like an animal refuge thing going on in New York, right? And this squirrel had like millions of followers on TikTok and all this stuff, like the most famous internet squirrel. Yeah. And they also had a raccoon. So basically what seems to have happened is somebody snitched and was like, hey, they have a fucking squirrel and they've had it for like 6 or 7 years or something in their apartment. Somebody snitched to where 6 or 7 government agencies like state, city, whatever, had to get a signature from a judge. 12 cops show up with a search warrant and they're turning the place upside down. They take the husband out. They question him for hours. They end up euthanizing the squirrel and the raccoon. And basically that's the priorities of the local government. They skipped over street rats, rodents, violent gangs, rapes, murders. They skipped over all the problems New York has to come find this damn squirrel. So basically, people see it as an example of like, this is what happens when you have like government overreach and when they just start being so disconnected with what the people actually care about, that y'all are spending all these wasting taxpayer money going just gas to go get everybody load up in vehicles and then go get the search warrant, like, or whatever. Just that alone
for a squirrel,
for the squirrel, and they killed it. So basically some people look at it like, hey, y'all, this is the government killing your family pets, like going into your home to kill your pets, basically, over technicality or whatever, I guess. But yeah, Marco is like, what? Wait, Jasmine, your cousin? Yes. Do you know?
I don't know this person. I can't see the face. I don't know how
maybe.
you would know. I think he's just making it up. I don't know.
Yeah,
traditions. Yeah. So going back to that, wow, I had no idea that was going on about a squirrel. Jeez. Yeah.
RP Peanut.
And oh yeah, so I guess like I eventually, I don't know when that will be, would love it to be able to just not go to anyone's house and do like our own thing at home. You know what I'm saying? Where like my door is open to you if you'd love to come visit us. Like, oh, Christmas Day, come by, come chill, come have coffee, dessert, pan dulce, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We're making tamales. If y'all want to swing through, we're gonna have some tamales. You know, I eventually would like to get there, like to where it's
like, put your foot down and we ain't going
nowhere.
If you don't want to go nowhere, just don't go nowhere.
You know that ain't gonna fly.
Your family's gonna get mad or what?
No.
They'll let you just stay home.
Yeah, they don't even
I think more than anything, you just feel guilty.
Yeah, because I feel like I didn't see my family. Yeah, and I didn't see everybody, and it's the holidays, and that's what holidays is family. And so, you know, I feel like, I don't know. I'd like to not be anywhere Christmas Day. I think we did Christmas Day at my mom's last year, which is nice because it's just us and there's no like, it's just food and us sitting there.
Take a nap because it's like,
that's all he does. It's super quiet at my mom's house, and it's cozy, right? It's like dark and just like there's 100 pillows on the couch. It's like you're literally in like
you're like tripping over pillows because you had to take like, can I remove 16 of them or 18 of them? Like, is that, or 24 of them? Is that cool? Just so that there could be 12 left.
Oh, you better not let my mama hear you. She's gonna be mad. Y'all know, but it's true though. My mom's got like, you sit on cloud 9 at her house. Like her couches are like super fluffy, and then like it's got a bunch of fluffier pillows on it, and you're just like, man. But it's like dark, so I feel like that's why it's always like her cabinets are dark. It feels dark in there. I'm not talking about the
Yeah.
decor. It's just like it's cozy. It's so dark in there.
And
You
she'll,
end
she'll
up
cater
falling
to you.
asleep. Yeah, and she caters to you.
¿Quieres algo,
Tú
un
pee.
té o algo?
Marisol,
Un pan, unas galletas?
levántate, él quiere comer. I'm like, okay. Can he just get it himself? No, Marisol.
Gracias, suegra.
¿Cómo vas a dejar que él se levante? I'm like, what? Are you kidding me right now? That's why P loves going over there, because he knows everybody's going to cater to him. You're the only male there, babe. And that's why you're treated like royalty when you're there. That's why you like
Masculinity
going.
making a comeback. Don't let them tell you masculinity is toxic. All my young kings, stay vigilant. See all the hearts on TikTok.
That's a good I like your tradition that you want to start. So we need to try it. So would this be Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
We can do it whenever before Thanksgiving. I mean, we could just look at the calendar and just see what works. Like when we have Mickey and what's all going on. When does it make sense? Like, probably in between Pasadena, November 16th, and Arlington, Texas, December 27th.
Anyhow,
that's probably where it's going to be.
Well, guys,
thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it. Send in your questions, guys. That was only 2 that I got, and I thought I'd share them on our podcast. I thought that were kind of cool. So I was like, oh, what did you think if we kind of talked about these? So DM Chingo, DM me. Well, I don't know how much. Do you check your DMs or not really?
Man, there's a lot. There's like folders.
Okay, well, you can DM me.
Yeah, send them me as well. Somehow, some way. Leave the comments.
So we'll find it some way. I know sometimes I don't get to everybody's DMs. There's a lot of them sitting in there right now. I'll eventually, but I just happened to click on that one because I saw Cafecito Time was the first part of the sentence, and I was like, oh, Cafecito Time. Okay, let me see what they have to say. So send in your questions. If you're watching, if you're listening to this on the podcast, well then, come on and send on your.
And look out for the masterclass, Power Couple,
No.
entertainment, business.
You just labeled this the Power Couple.
Showbiz 101 masterclass. Because in the jiu-jitsu world, it's all about the instructionals.
Oh, okay.
Everybody got instructional hours, and that's going to be a fire instructional.
Right.
So I'm like, wait, if I had an instructional, how am I going to break down the game?
You thought about it already. That's great to know.
Yeah, how you gonna break down the game?
Okay.
You try to roll like baby Glock. 10-step method.
Oh my god.
10-step method.
Oh,
you gotta do your homework. You gotta watch YouTube.
So how often are we dropping these so we can tell them to tune in?
We're I mean at least once a week.
Okay, so this drops this week on what day? Wednesday?
The audio I can put it up right now.
I know, but I'm just saying so that we can be consistent and something like
give
tune
them a day.
In. Yeah, like are we doing this?
You pick the day. Theo Hoover goes live Wednesday nights.
I think it should be Mondays because I don't usually go to the Hive on Mondays, and it's probably the easiest day for me to record.
Boom.
So I guess you can drop it every
Basically, when are you free to record?
It would probably be every Monday.
All right,
so that's what
there
I'm
it
saying.
is. Cafecito Time every Monday.
But you're gonna drop it Monday. It needs to be available Monday morning while people are rolling to work. So technically, record day would be that's off air.
No, that's too complicated. Basically, after we do this, I'll take the audio and we put it on podcast.
Oh, okay,
that's
right.
how it ain't no.
So
it ain't no Monday morning.
So sometime on Monday it gets posted.
No, when you see us live, it'll go up after.
Oh, so we're always gonna do it live.
For
now. Okay, got it.
Pretty much.
All right. Well, there you go. You got all the info.
And that's how it is working with.
And that's how it is working with Chingo Bling, in case you were wondering.
Be on the lookout for the.
See how I was wanting to schedule, and it's like, no, we're doing it live today, and it's dropping today.
Puro masterclass. All right, y'all have a good one. Peace out.
Bye.